When you're reading a book and you see that there are only like 50 pages left and nothing has been even remotely resolved, there's a sense of excitement that comes through you that says, oh boy, shit's about to go down. That's what I feel like every time I load up Mass Effect 3. There are so many conflicts within the galaxy that haven't even been touched. You have this ever-long war between the Geth and the Quarians, the genophage that plagues the Krogan and has left them resentful of the Solarians and Turians for hundreds of years. And can Khaleesi Al-Jalani take another nose surgery? All of these and more are resolved in the final installment of the Mass Effect trilogy, as well as bringing, in my opinion, a fitting end to the monumental series. Mass Effect 3 centers its story around bringing the galaxy together through diplomacy, collecting war assets to take back Earth from the Reapers. Shepard has to negotiate peace between all of these alien races who, at best, have been living in a tense symbiotic relationship to, at worst, full-on hatred. And Admiral Hackett expects you to just waltz onto the homeworlds of all these people and order them around like they owe you anything. And then has the audacity to completely run you off course with a side mission telling you, there's Reaper tech in this area, see what Cerberus is up to. Like he doesn't have an entire army at his disposal. When you try and ask these people for help, you slowly become aware of the convoluted web of politics that's keeping everyone from hopping ship and joining your quest to save Earth. And it's fun to play West Wing and try and bring all these politicians into the same room and find a way to compromise. It doesn't feel like these boundaries for these races are out of nowhere because of all the setup that's been put into the story in the first and second game. The game made you understand what each race wants as a whole through the people and crew members you met along your journey. Seeing a science fiction universe have problems that could easily be mirrored in our own political landscape makes the story feel much more believable and real. Everyone has problems, even hyper-intelligent amphibians. I think most people agree that their issues with Mass Effect don't lie within the main part of the game. Where people had most of their issues was the ending. When I was in film school, we often had to write our own screenplays for the short films that we had to create. And I absolutely hated writing the endings of my story. I always had trouble figuring out how I wanted to close everything up. So you can see how I can sympathize with BioWare on their ending. I think the original ending of Mass Effect 3 is totally fine. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. And compared to the extended cut, it does feel a little rushed. But the baseline was there. Mass Effect was a story that asks one main question. Are organics or synthetics the ultimate life form? While movies and television are often forced to choose a side on a theme, video games allow for the player to choose their own answers. In Mass Effect 3, you have 3 interesting solutions to the Reaper threat that allow you to create your own canon. And for a game designed around choices, it seemed a fitting way to cap off the series. And the extended cut fixed the only, in my opinion, indefensible error with the ending, not giving us enough closure with the characters that we traveled the galaxy with. But once the extended cut got released, I think it's a good, even great ending to one of my favorite stories ever written. Mass Effect 3 may have had a bit of a bumpy launch with its polarizing ending and astronomical expectations, but looking back, I think it had a much harsher reaction than it deserved. It let you choose your own ending to the story that you created. I find that fitting. The last thing I want to say about these fantastic games is that it's one of my main inspirations for my love of science fiction, and a huge shout out to my cousin Corbin for lending me his copy of the first Mass Effect. I beat it in like 48 hours after he'd handed it to me, and I immediately pre-ordered the second one at GameStop. I appreciate everyone who decided to watch all 3 of these, and please consider subscribing.